everyone, our dorkshelf.com viewers. My name's Matt. I'm here with Mike Stoklasa, the voice of Mike Plinkett.
Mr. Plinkett.
Mr. Plinkett.
Harry S.
Harry.
Plinkett. Harry S. Plinkett. Yes.
Cool. Popular personality in YouTube reviewer, or well, not YouTube anymore. You guys moved off of.
Yeah. I mean, everything's still on YouTube, but
yeah.
we primarily do stuff on our site.
Cool. And you guys are just primarily doing, I would say, not sarcastic, but very sardonic reviews of horrible sci-fi movies.
Yeah. Sarcastic's good,
yes.
as well as sardonic. Yeah, it's more like a video essay, a breakdown, a documentary,
definitely,
satire, critique. It's a whole bunch of different things all rolled into one thing.
It's a character piece, as well.
Performance art?
Performance art, definitely.
Although I'm not really performing it live, but it is something like that, I guess.
Take it to Broadway, you'll do better than Turn Off the Dark did.
A live show would do great, yeah.
Cabaret.
Yes,
Cabaret.
Sing the review.
You guys started off doing, the earliest reviews I saw at least were of the Star Trek Next Generation type films. Those kind of met with a great amount of success anyway. You did the 4 Next Generation reviews. Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis, that one. The one with the horrible Picard clone. What kind of, I guess, inspired you to start doing these reviews?
Well, the very first review is Generations.
Yeah.
I was a huge Next Generation fan as a kid, growing up and whatnot. And when I saw that movie in the theaters, I hated it.
Yeah.
And years went by up until 2008, and I just decided to buy it again. And I watched it, and I was just like, I remember why I hate this movie so much. So I had a lot of free time, and I just said, I'm going to make a video about all the points, because it's hard to really, I get really into stuff, and it's hard to do all that in a conversation with somebody. So I'm just like, I'm going to make a video detailing all the points about why I don't like this movie or why I thought it didn't work.
Yeah.
And so I made that, and I just made it for the intention of just for myself, just to do it.
Yeah.
And so I put it on YouTube, and it started to get good. Yeah, it started to get momentum, and people liked it. I was like, okay. I didn't expect anyone to watch it.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I didn't care. And then people started saying, are you going to do the First Contact? Are you going to do First Contact? And so after they kept asking, I was like, okay, I'll do First Contact. And then I just started doing them and getting better, getting better at it as I went along.
Definitely. With the latest reviews, I guess the one I kind of thrust you, I guess, into at least a lot of mainstream attention was the 70-minute episode 1 review, which was pretty much everything I guess fans of you at least could have hoped for. Do you find that especially compared to the earlier reviews, there's a lot more of the Plinkett character in the newer reviews? Do you find that that's how your style's kind of shifted towards?
Yeah. Well, for me, I things sort of just come from a small idea, and then they just sort of get out of control, and I don't really have this long-term view of things. Like the Plinkett character, originally I didn't do it in the Plinkett voice. I did it in my regular voice, and then I was like, why don't I do this in a character voice? It might make it more interesting. And then I threw the bit in about how his wife was dead and she doesn't know anything. And then that was the first wife bit, and then I started okay, well, how did she die?
Yeah.
Maybe put her through the windshield of the car. And then that kind of evolved. And then the thing with Nadine in the basement, it was just supposed to be he pans by and we see someone tied up in his basement. And that was a joke. And then that turned into a whole storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like doing the live action bits. I like doing the Plinkett stuff. It's a balance for me, because if I just did a whole video about the review, I would probably get bored with that.
Yeah, especially 70 minutes. It's a long time to have without interspersed with anything.
Yeah, and if you throw in a weird cat sex tape clip right in the middle, why not?
Totally. And I think that's what. If you think about the kind of having to post it in parts, it does you a favor too, because it breaks things up into easier to manage pieces, I guess.
Right.
So I guess you do have Red Letter Media is just the company kind of behind it, the branding behind it. Right. Do you find that the Plinkett reviews have helped focus on your other work?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Definitely. Like, do you mind just telling us a little bit about your other projects?
Yeah, well, I mean, I started Red Letter Media in like 2004.
Yeah.
When I lived in Arizona at the time, and I did a lot of concerts and stuff like that. And then I moved back to Illinois. And me and Jay, we've always done short films for many years, features, comedy, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, the attention to the website has certainly helped everything else. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
There's a large contingency of people that just want the Plinkett reviews, and
I was going to ask, is there like a pressure to kind of like, even continuing to produce the Plinkett reviews, even though you might want to move over to other projects?
Yeah, certainly a pressure, right? I mean, but I like doing those.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what though? Like I always say this. Like I started off doing them just for me, and I don't really listen to what everybody says, because everyone has an opinion about what you should do, which way you should go. So, I mean, you want to keep people watching your stuff, but you don't want to drive everyone away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you kind of want to do what you want to do. You don't want to, like, I'm forced to make, an Indiana Jones review, and I don't really want to, but everyone wants it. I won't do it if I don't want to. So,
like, while we're here at the Toronto Comic Con, how kind of important has been the social media, Facebook, that kind of stuff for almost promoting your product? Because like we're here and you guys do have a table and everything, but the internet almost acts like a virtual convention that you're always able to interact with your fans. So like how big of a deal I guess has been social media and promoting your product?
For us, like we have a pretty popular Facebook page, and that is fine by itself, but social media in general, like these wouldn't be popular without that, because the Phantom Menace was tweeted.
Roger Ebert, I think, tweeted it.
Well, the first one was Damon Lindelof, who made Lost and Star Trek, and then he knows Simon Pegg, and then Simon Pegg twittered it. And so, like, that's what really got things going. And then, of course, other people, Roger Ebert and a couple others, helped. But, I mean, I don't know. I think Twitter is, like, more valuable than, like, advertising on television now. I mean, if you have a ton of people, it's a great way to connect with a lot of people.
And you've been able to get, like, feedback from your fans and everything through Twitter and through...
Yeah, and stay connected and
get an idea of what's working and what's
it's
not.
Good and bad, yeah. It's almost like instant market research or instant like focus groups, or what do they call it when they show a movie ahead of time to test audiences, right? I mean, it's after something's out, but it's like everyone has their opinion and everyone says it, so you're like, okay, this is working, this isn't, and you kind of weigh it in, I guess.
But on the other hand, do you find that like coming to these conventions, it's good to meet people face to face?
Yeah. Well, like the one regret is I've never seen my reviews played before anybody. So I've never seen like people like laugh and enjoy it. I've heard about it through emails, but I've never seen like a crowd watch my reviews. So there's sort of like there's a disconnect. The internet, you could reach a lot of people, but at the same time there's a wall, where there's no human-to-human interaction. So
maybe there'll be a Plinkett Film Festival one day, and then we can film or screen all of them back to back.
Yeah, we're screening something, the Phantom Menace review, at a convention in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, in April. It's not going to be a very big convention, but so that'll be the first time I've ever seen it with people. So.
Yeah, hopefully that'll go well for you, and things will continue. But anyways, thanks. I want to say just thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's Red Letter Media Review for DorkShelf.com. Check us out.